Welcome, wanderers of the dark and seekers of the unknown, to Whispers on the Asphalt, your go-to channel for spine-tingling tales and haunted histories. Here, we explore the eerie corners of the world where shadows stretch longer than they should and the hum of tires on pavement is often accompanied by whispers from beyond. Today, we embark on a chilling journey along some of the most haunted highways in the Pacific Northwest, a region renowned for its breathtaking landscapes, dense forests, and a rich tapestry of folklore that blurs the line between myth and reality. The Pacific Northwest, with its mist-shrouded mountains, winding coastal roads, and endless stretches of wilderness, has long been a breeding ground for ghostly legends and unexplained phenomena. These highways, carved through rugged terrain and steeped in history, are more than mere conduits for travel. They are corridors of mystery, where the past lingers like fog over a moonlit lake. From spectral hitchhikers to phantom vehicles, from cursed landmarks to blood-soaked stretches of asphalt, these roads hold secrets that defy explanation and challenge the boundaries of belief. In this two-part series, we will peel back the layers of the supernatural, revealing the haunting stories behind the region's most infamous routes. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, prepare to have your curiosity piqued and your courage tested as we delve into the unknown. So buckle up, keep your headlights on, and join us as we navigate the shadowy highways of the Pacific Northwest. Let the journey begin. Oregon, a state renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and rich cultural heritage, harbors secrets that transcend the boundaries of our everyday reality. Beneath its lush forests, rugged coastlines, and bustling cities lies a tapestry woven with tales of the supernatural, stories that have been whispered through generations, passed down like heirlooms from those who dared to explore the unknown. These are not mere legends or folklore, they are accounts steeped in history, tragedy, and an undeniable undercurrent of the paranormal. In this episode of our haunted storytelling series, we delve deep into Oregon's most infamous haunted locations, a collection of places where the veil between worlds feels tantalizingly thin. The allure of Oregon's haunted sites is multifaceted. For some, it's the thrill of encountering something inexplicable, a brush with the otherworldly that defies logic and reason. For others, it's the magnetic pull of history, the idea that these places serve as portals to bygone eras, preserving the emotions, struggles, and untold stories of those who once walked their halls. From ghostly apparitions drifting silently through abandoned asylums to disembodied voices echoing in centuries-old hotels, each location carries its own unique spectral signature, offering both fear and fascination in equal measure. What sets Oregon apart from other states steeped in ghostly lore is the sheer diversity of its haunted locales. Whether you're drawn to the eerie isolation of rural towns, the haunting beauty of coastal cliffs, or the urban shadows cast by Portland's towering skyscrapers, there's a haunted site waiting to captivate your imagination. This episode will take you on a journey through 12 of Oregon's most chilling destinations, each one a chapter in the state's macabre anthology. We'll uncover the tragic events that gave rise to their hauntings, share first-hand accounts from witnesses brave enough to confront the supernatural, and explore why these places continue to draw curious visitors year after year. Prepare yourself for a voyage into the unknown, where every creaking floorboard and flickering light might just be a sign that you're not alone. As we peel back the layers of Oregon's haunted history, we invite you to keep an open mind, and perhaps a watchful eye over your shoulder. Because in this corner of the Pacific Northwest, the past doesn't just linger, it thrives, beckoning those bold enough to seek it out. So, dim the lights, settle in, and let us guide you through the haunted heart of Oregon, where the line between myth and reality blurs, and the spirits of the past refuse to fade quietly into oblivion. The Shanghai Tunnels, shadows beneath Portland. Beneath the bustling streets of Portland lies a labyrinthine network of tunnels that has earned its place among Oregon's most haunted locations. Known as the Shanghai Tunnels, this subterranean maze stretches for miles beneath the city's Old Town and Chinatown districts, serving as both a historical relic and a chilling hotspot for paranormal activity. Originally constructed in the mid-19th century, the tunnels were initially used for legitimate purposes, such as transporting goods and avoiding street-level congestion. However, their darker history soon emerged, transforming them into a sinister underworld where human lives were bartered and stolen. During the late 1800s and early 1900s, the Shanghai tunnels became infamous as part of the illicit trade known as Shanghaiing, Unsuspecting sailors, drifters, and even local residents were lured into bars and saloons above ground, only to be drugged, kidnapped, and dragged through trapdoors into the tunnels below. From there, they were smuggled onto ships destined for far-flung ports, forced into servitude aboard vessels that often never returned. The tunnels also served as holding cells, opium dens, and black market hubs, where illegal activities thrived unchecked. Countless souls disappeared into this shadowy realm, their fates left to speculation and sorrow. Today, the Shanghai tunnels are a magnet for paranormal enthusiasts and history buffs alike, drawing thousands of visitors eager to experience their eerie ambience. Guided tours take brave explorers through dimly lit passageways lined with crumbling brick walls and rusted iron doors, each step revealing remnants of a grim past. It's here that the supernatural makes its presence known. Many tour participants report hearing faint whispers echoing through the tunnels, despite being miles away from any source of civilization. Others describe feeling an oppressive weight pressing down on them, as though unseen hands are trying to restrain their movements. Cold spots are a common occurrence, with temperatures plummeting unexpectedly in certain areas, leaving visitors shivering despite the mild climate above ground. One of the most frequently reported phenomena involves sightings of ghostly figures believed to be the spirits of those who perished within the tunnels. Witnesses claim to see shadowy silhouettes darting across their peripheral vision, only to vanish when directly confronted. Some describe encountering a gaunt man in tattered sailor's attire, his hollow eyes filled with despair, wandering aimlessly as if searching for an escape that no longer exists. Others recount seeing a woman dressed in Victorian-era clothing, her face pale and tear-streaked, standing near one of the trapdoors that once sealed the fate of so many. These apparitions are often accompanied by the sound of dragging chains or heavy footsteps, evoking images of prisoners being led to their doom. Paranormal investigators have conducted numerous expeditions within the Shanghai tunnels, capturing compelling evidence of their haunted reputation. EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. Recordings revealed disembodied voices pleading for help or warning intruders to leave. Thermal cameras detect significant temperature drops in specific areas, particularly near sections historically associated with kidnappings and imprisonment. Perhaps the most unsettling discovery came during a live investigation broadcast online. Viewers watching the live stream spotted a translucent figure moving through the frame in real time, prompting widespread discussion about whether the entity was attempting to communicate, or simply ensuring its domain remained undisturbed, despite, or perhaps because of, its dark legacy. The Shanghai tunnels remain a popular attraction for those seeking a taste of the supernatural. Visitors are warned to tread carefully, as the tunnel's uneven surfaces and low ceilings pose physical dangers alongside their spectral ones. Yet, for those willing to venture into their depths, the promise of encountering restless spirits offers both terror and intrigue. As you descend into this underground world, remember, the shadows here are not merely products of dim lighting, they are echoes of lives lost, forever trapped in the labyrinthine corridors of Portland's haunted past. The Pittock Mansion, echoes of elegance and tragedy perched high on a hill overlooking the sprawling cityscape of Portland, the Pittock Mansion stands as a testament to Oregon's Gilded Age. A stunning example of French Renaissance architecture that exudes grandeur and refinement. Completed in 1914, the mansion was commissioned by Henry Pittock, a self-made millionaire and publisher of the Oregonian, as a gift for his wife Georgiana. Nestled amidst lush gardens and panoramic views of Mount Hood, the estate quickly became a symbol of wealth, sophistication, and familial devotion. Yet behind its stately facade lies a tapestry of tragedy and unexplained phenomena, making it one of Oregon's most intriguing haunted locations. Henry and Georgiana Pittock poured their hearts into creating a home that reflected not only their prosperity but also their enduring love for one another. They raised 5 children within its walls, filling the mansion with laughter, music, and countless memories. However, their idyllic life was marred by misfortune. In 1917, Georgiana passed away after a prolonged illness, leaving Henry devastated. He followed her just 3 years later, succumbing to complications from injuries sustained in a car accident. Their deaths marked the beginning of a decline for the once thriving estate. It is said that the spirits of Henry and Georgiana never left the mansion they built together. Visitors and staff alike have reported encountering signs of their lingering presence throughout the property. One of the most frequent reports involves the scent of roses, an homage to Georgiana's favorite flower, wafting through the air in rooms where no flowers are present. Guests staying overnight during private events have described waking up to find fresh blooms inexplicably placed on bedside tables, as if Georgiana herself had arranged them. Others recount hearing soft piano melodies drifting through the halls, reminiscent of the musical evenings the family once hosted, despite the instrument being locked away and untouched. The master bedroom, where both Henry and Georgiana spent their final days, is considered the epicenter of paranormal activity. Staff members tasked with cleaning the room often report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness, accompanied by the sensation of being watched. Some claim to see faint outlines of figures standing at the foot of the bed, while others describe hearing muffled conversations in hushed tones, as though the couple were still discussing matters of the day. On more than one occasion, maintenance workers have sworn they felt invisible hands guiding theirs while adjusting furniture or repairing fixtures, leading them to believe the Pittocks remain invested in preserving their cherished home. Beyond the main house, the surrounding grounds also harbor eerie tales. The carriage house, now converted into a visitor center, is rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a former groundskeeper named James. Described as a kind but reclusive man, James dedicated his life to maintaining the estate's immaculate gardens until his death in the 1950s. Employees working late hours in the carriage house often report hearing footsteps pacing above them, though the second floor has long been sealed off. Others have spotted a shadowy figure tending to the shrubs outside, disappearing into thin air when approached. Paranormal investigators who have explored the Pittock Mansion describe it as a veritable hotbed of supernatural energy. EMF detectors routinely spike in certain areas, particularly near the master bedroom and library. Audio recordings capture faint whispers, some speaking in languages unfamiliar to modern ears, while others issue gentle admonishments like, "Be careful," or, "You shouldn't be here." One investigator captured what appears to be a full-bodied apparition gliding down the staircase on camera, an image that has since become iconic among paranormal circles. Despite its haunted reputation, the Pittock Mansion remains a beloved landmark, attracting tourists eager to glimpse a piece of Oregon's storied past. For those brave enough to visit, the opportunity to encounter the ghosts of Henry and Georgiana, or perhaps unravel the mysteries surrounding their untimely deaths, proves irresistible. Whether you're drawn by the mansion's architectural splendor or the thrill of peeling back the layers of its enigmatic history, the Pittock Mansion offers an unforgettable experience where the line between past and present blurs, and the spirits of those who came before refuse to fade quietly into oblivion. The Wolf Creek Inn, ghosts of the Oregon Trail nestled along the historic Oregon Trail in the serene town of Wolf Creek. The Wolf Creek Inn stands as a timeless relic of the 19th century, offering weary travelers respite since its establishment in 1883. Originally constructed as a stagecoach stop, the inn quickly became a vital hub for pioneers, settlers, and adventurers traversing the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest. Its rustic charm and warm hospitality provided solace to those braving the arduous journey westward, earning it a reputation as a beacon of comfort amidst the wilderness. Yet, beneath its weathered wooden beams and creaking floorboards lies a darker narrative, one steeped in tragedy, betrayal, and the supernatural. One of the most infamous incidents tied to the Wolf Creek Inn occurred in the late 1890s, involving a young woman named Elizabeth Carmichael. Described as beautiful yet fiercely independent, Elizabeth worked as a cook at the inn, her culinary talents drawing praise from patrons far and wide. However, her life took a devastating turn when she fell victim to the advances of a charismatic but manipulative traveler named Thomas Grayson. Promising her love and security, Grayson convinced Elizabeth to elope with him, only to abandon her shortly after their departure. Heartbroken and humiliated, Elizabeth returned to the inn, where she was found dead in her quarters under mysterious circumstances. While officially ruled a suicide, rumors swirled that foul play was involved, fueling speculation about Grayson's true intentions. Since then, guests and staff at the Wolf Creek Inn have reported unnerving encounters linked to Elizabeth's tormented spirit. Many describe hearing faint scratching sounds emanating from the walls, as though someone, or something, is clawing desperately to escape. Others recount waking up to find their bedsheets tangled impossibly tight around their limbs, as if restrained by invisible hands. The most disturbing accounts come from visitors staying in room 7, where Elizabeth's tragedy unfolded. Shadows flit across the corners of vision, and the acrid smell of burned herbs fills the air, evoking the grisly scene that transpired decades ago. Adding to the inn's eerie atmosphere is the recurring appearance of a spectral figure believed to be Elizabeth herself. Dressed in a flowing white gown, she is often seen wandering the grounds at dusk, her hollow eyes fixed on some unseen point in the distance. Some guests claim to feel an icy draft pass through them as she drifts by, while others report hearing mournful whispers pleading for forgiveness. In one particularly chilling incident, a couple staying at the inn swore they saw Elizabeth standing at the foot of their bed, her translucent form illuminated by moonlight. When they attempted to speak to her, she vanished into thin air, leaving behind an oppressive sense of dread. Paranormal investigators who have explored the Wolf Creek and describe it as a veritable hotbed of supernatural activity. EMF detectors routinely spike in certain areas, particularly near room 7 and the garden where Elizabeth's body was eventually found. EVP recordings captured during overnight sessions reveal faint voices muttering indistinct phrases, interspersed with anguished cries. One investigator even captured what appears to be a shadowy silhouette moving through the hallway on camera, an image that has since become a staple of online paranormal forums. Despite its unsettling reputation, the Wolf Creek Inn continues to attract curious travelers eager to experience its macabre charm. Owners make no secret of its haunted history, instead embracing it as part of the property's unique appeal. For those bold enough to book a stay, the promise of encountering Elizabeth's restless spirit, or perhaps unraveling the mysteries surrounding her disappearance, proves irresistible. Yet, as each new guest steps across the threshold, they must ask themselves, are they prepared to face the darkness that lingers within these walls, or will they become another chapter in the inn's tragic tale? The Oregon State Hospital, echoes of madness and despair in the heart of Salem, Oregon, stands a building whose very name evokes a shiver of dread, the Oregon State Hospital. Established in 1883, this sprawling institution was designed to provide care and treatment for individuals suffering from mental illnesses. Over the decades, however, it became synonymous with overcrowding, neglect, and systemic abuse, earning a reputation as one of the most troubled psychiatric facilities in American history. Its labyrinthine corridors and imposing architecture have long been the setting for harrowing tales of suffering and loss, making it one of Oregon's most haunted locations. The hospital's dark legacy began almost immediately after its opening. Built to accommodate 400 patients, it quickly exceeded capacity due to the influx of individuals deemed insane or incurable by societal standards of the time. Conditions deteriorated rapidly, with patients crammed into squalid wards and subjected to inhumane treatments. Electroshock therapy, lobotomies, and forced confinement were common practices, leaving many patients permanently scarred, both physically and mentally. Reports of physical and sexual abuse ran rampant, further compounding the trauma endured by those trapped within its walls. One of the most infamous chapters in the hospital's history revolves around the crematorium scandal uncovered in 2004. During renovations, workers discovered copper canisters containing the unclaimed ashes of over 3,500 former patients, dating back to the early 20th century. These remains, stored in deplorable conditions, were a stark reminder of how easily human lives could be discarded and forgotten. Many believe that the spirits of these neglected souls continue to haunt the hospital, unable to find peace due to the indignities they suffered in life. Visitors and employees alike report a myriad of paranormal phenomena within the Oregon State Hospital's decaying halls. Faint cries and screams echo through empty corridors, as though the anguish of past patients still reverberates through the air. Doors slam shut without explanation, and lights flicker unpredictably, casting eerie shadows on the cracked plaster walls. Maintenance staff tasked with cleaning the older wings describe tools moving inexplicably, chairs scraping across the floor when no one is nearby, and the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Perhaps the most chilling encounters occur in Ward 8, once reserved for the most severely ill patients. Those brave enough to venture into this area report feeling an overwhelming sense of despair, as though the collective grief of hundreds of tormented minds permeates the space. Apparitions of gaunt figures in tattered hospital gowns have been spotted wandering aimlessly, their hollow eyes filled with anguish. Others describe hearing whispered pleas for help or warnings to leave me alone, as if the spirits are desperate to be heard but powerless to act. Paranormal investigators have conducted numerous expeditions within the hospital, capturing compelling evidence of its haunted reputation. Thermal imaging cameras reveal cold spots concentrated in specific areas, particularly near the crematorium and Ward 8. EVP recordings capture disembodied voices muttering fragmented sentences, some pleading for release, others issuing threats in garbled tones. One investigator captured what appears to be a shadowy figure darting across the screen in real time during a live broadcast, an image that has since sparked widespread debate about the nature of the entities haunting the facility. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted allure, the Oregon State Hospital remains a focal point for those fascinated by the intersection of history and the supernatural. Portions of the original structure have been preserved as part of the Oregon State Hospital Museum of Mental Health, allowing visitors to explore its grim past while contemplating the ethical failures that defined its operation. For those brave enough to walk its halls, the opportunity to confront the ghosts of madness and despair offers both terror and reflection. Yet, as each new visitor crosses its threshold, they must decide whether they are ready to face the echoes of suffering and the restless spirits it left behind. The Driscoll Hotel. Glamour meets ghosts in downtown Portland. Nestled in the heart of downtown Portland, the Driscoll Hotel stands as a crown jewel of Oregon's hospitality history, blending old-world elegance with modern luxury. Opened in 1912, this boutique hotel quickly became a gathering place for the city's elite, hosting politicians, celebrities, and socialites who sought refuge in its lavishly appointed rooms and grand ballrooms. With its ornate chandeliers, hand-carved woodwork, and sweeping staircases, the Driscoll exudes an air of sophistication that harks back to a bygone era of glamour and indulgence. Yet, beneath its polished veneer lies a darker side, a side steeped in tragedy, scandal, and whispers of the supernatural. One of the most enduring legends tied to the Driscoll revolves around Room 303, a suite infamous for its association with the jilted lover's curse. According to local lore, a young woman named Abigail Hart checked into the hotel in the 1920s, hoping to reconcile with her estranged fiancé during a lavish masquerade ball held in the hotel's ballroom. When her attempts to win him back failed, Abigail retreated to her room in despair. Hours later, staff discovered her lifeless body sprawled across the bed, a note clutched in her hand cursing all future occupants of the room to suffer the same heartbreak she endured. Since then, guests staying in room 303 have reported a range of unsettling phenomena: lights turning on and off by themselves, radios tuning to static-filled stations, and the overwhelming scent of lavender lingering in the air. Some claim to wake up in the middle of the night to find the bedside mirror fogged, as though someone had just leaned close to exhale upon it. Others describe hearing soft sobbing emanating from the bathroom, only to discover it empty upon investigation. Another spectral resident of the Driscoll is believed to be none other than Samuel Driscoll himself, the hotel's original owner. A wealthy cattle baron and philanthropist, Driscoll poured his fortune into constructing the hotel as a testament to his success. However, financial troubles plagued him in his later years, and he died penniless in 1926, leaving behind a legacy fraught with contradiction. Staff members and guests alike have reported seeing a distinguished gentleman in a vintage suit wandering the lobby and hallways, his presence marked by the faint aroma of cigar smoke. Housekeeping personnel swear they've witnessed him inspecting the premises, occasionally rearranging furniture or straightening paintings as if ensuring his beloved hotel remains pristine. One particularly spine-chilling account comes from a maintenance worker who swore he felt a firm tap on his shoulder while repairing a light fixture in the basement, only to turn around and find no one there. The hotel's ballroom, once the site of glittering galas and high society gatherings, has also become a focal point of paranormal activity. Patrons attending events in the space often describe feeling an inexplicable chill, even amidst the warmth of celebration. Musicians performing on stage have reported hearing discordant notes played on phantom instruments, disrupting their melodies mid-performance. On more than one occasion, attendees have sworn they saw couples dancing gracefully across the floor, only to realize there was no music playing and no visible source of illumination casting their silhouettes. Even the hotel's elevators are not immune to the supernatural. Employees and guests alike have reported instances of the lifts stopping unexpectedly on random floors, opening to reveal empty hallways bathed in an eerie silence. On occasion, disembodied laughter echoes through the carriages, accompanied by the faint strains of jazz music, a nod to the hotel's heyday when live bands entertained patrons late into the night. Despite its haunted reputation, the Driscoll Hotel remains a beloved landmark, attracting tourists eager to glimpse a piece of Portland's storied past. For those brave enough to spend the night, the promise of encountering a ghostly guest, or perhaps unraveling the mystery surrounding its spectral inhabitants, proves irresistible. Whether you're drawn by the glamour of old Portland or the thrill of the unknown, the Driscoll offers an unforgettable experience where the line between past and present blurs, and the spirits of those who came before refuse to fade quietly into oblivion. The Vortex Pub, Spirits of Rock and Roll in McMinnville, tucked away in the quaint town of McMinnville, Oregon, lies a venue that pulses with the raw energy of rock and roll and the ethereal whispers of the supernatural. The Vortex Pub, known locally as a haven for live music enthusiasts, this unassuming bar has become a cornerstone of Oregon's vibrant nightlife scene. But beyond its neon-lit marquee and gritty charm, the Vortex harbors a darker side, one steeped in the echoes of performances past, untimely deaths, and restless spirits that refuse to leave the stage. Built in the early 1900s, the building that houses the Vortex was originally a warehouse before being converted into a speakeasy during Prohibition. Its transformation into a music venue in the 1970s marked the beginning of its legendary status, attracting up-and-coming bands and cult favorites alike. Over the decades, the Vortex has hosted everyone from grunge pioneers to punk rock rebels, each leaving behind not only their music but also fragments of their essence. Yet, among the countless acts that have graced its stage, one performer's story stands out as particularly haunting. In 1994, a rising star named Jake Holloway took the stage at the Vortex during what would tragically become his final performance. Known for his electrifying guitar solos and brooding lyrics, Holloway had been battling personal demons for years. That fateful night, his set ended abruptly when he collapsed mid-song, dying of a suspected overdose backstage. Witnesses claimed to hear his guitar wailing uncontrollably even after he was pronounced dead, as though the instrument refused to fall silent. Since then, patrons and staff have reported strange occurrences linked to Jake's untimely demise. Musicians performing at the Vortex often recount bizarre disruptions during their sets. Strings snap without explanation, amplifiers cut out mid-song, and microphones emit ear-piercing feedback despite rigorous sound checks. Some claim to see a shadowy figure standing in the wings, watching intently as if critiquing their performance. Others describe hearing faint applause or cheers coming from empty corners of the room, even when no audience is present. One band swore they saw Jake himself leaning against the bar, clad in his signature leather jacket and aviator sunglasses, before vanishing into thin air. The pub's basement, once used as a green room for visiting artists, is another hotspot for paranormal activity. Stories abound of musicians who vanished mysteriously while retrieving gear, their bodies never found. Modern-day employees tasked with cleaning the area describe hearing chains rattling and heavy footsteps echoing through the cavernous space, though no one else is present. Some claim to see shadowy figures dragging invisible loads, their movements jerky and unnatural. A particularly chilling account comes from a maintenance worker who swore he felt cold metal cuffs snap around his wrists, pulling him backward toward the darkness before releasing him abruptly. Haunted places hold an undeniable fascination for humanity, tapping into our deepest fears, curiosities, and desires to connect with something greater than ourselves. At their core, these spectral sites serve as conduits for exploring the boundaries of human existence, spaces where the mundane meets the mystical, and the known intersects with the unknowable. Oregon's haunted locations, from the chilling depths of the Shanghai tunnels to the melancholic grandeur of the Pittock Mansion, exemplify this duality, offering both terror and wonder in equal measure. But what is it about these places that keeps us returning, again and again, to confront the shadows they harbor? One of the primary reasons haunted sites captivate us lies in their ability to evoke primal emotions. Fear, awe, and curiosity are deeply ingrained in the human psyche, driving us to seek out experiences that challenge our understanding of reality. Encountering the supernatural, whether through a flickering light, a disembodied voice, or an inexplicable chill, forces us to confront the limits of logic and reason. In doing so, these moments remind us of our vulnerability and mortality, sparking introspection about the nature of life, death, and what might lie beyond. Haunted places provide a safe arena for exploring these existential questions, allowing us to flirt with danger without genuine risk, indulging in adrenaline-fueled thrills while knowing we can retreat to the safety of daylight. Another compelling aspect of haunted locations is their role as storytellers. Each eerie encounter, each chilling rumor, contributes to a larger narrative that transcends individual experiences. Whether it's the tragic love affair immortalized in the Wolf Creek Inn or the wartime horrors etched into the Tillamook Air Museum, these tales resonate because they reflect universal themes of loss, betrayal, and redemption. They remind us that history is not merely a sequence of dates and events but a living, breathing entity shaped by the emotions and actions of those who came before us. By stepping into these haunted spaces, we become part of their ongoing stories, adding our own impressions and interpretations to their evolving legacies. The architecture of haunted places further enhances their allure, serving as both a physical and symbolic backdrop for the supernatural. Structures like the Oregon State Hospital and the Driscoll Hotel, with their labyrinthine corridors, creaking floorboards, and hidden alcoves, create environments ripe for isolation and suspense. These design elements amplify feelings of unease, making the ordinary feel extraordinary and the familiar seem foreign. Moreover, the very materials used in construction, wood, stone, brick, carry traces of the past, absorbing and retaining the energies of those who once inhabited them. This interplay between structure and spirit transforms these buildings into living archives of human emotion, preserving the joys, sorrows, and secrets of their former occupants. Sound and sensory manipulation also play a crucial role in the haunting experience. The faint hum of distant machinery in the Tillamook Air Museum, the mournful whispers in the Wolf Creek Inn, or the discordant notes disrupting performances at the Vortex Pub, all serve as auditory reminders that the past refuses to remain silent. These phenomena strip away the comfort of predictability, forcing visitors to engage fully with their surroundings. Similarly, visual cues like flickering lights, shifting shadows, and inexplicable temperature changes heighten the senses, creating an immersive environment where the line between reality and illusion blurs. Together, these elements craft an atmosphere of suspense and anticipation, keeping visitors perpetually on edge. Ultimately, the enduring appeal of haunted places lies in their ability to bridge worlds, past and present, living and dead, known and unknowable. They invite us to step outside the boundaries of logic and embrace the ineffable, reminding us that the line between fact and fiction, reality and imagination, is far thinner than we might believe. As long as humans seek to understand the mysteries of existence, haunted places will remain beacons of intrigue, beckoning us to unlock their secrets, one trembling step at a time.